Hey guys, this is Steve with Orlando Collector Deviants. I am here tonight with Anna Zhao. Did I say that right? Or Anna, the
One
cover
version,
queen
yeah.
Zhao.
The cover
Zo,
queen.
the cover queen.
Cover queen? How did I get that name?
I don't know. And of course, guys, behind the camera, the voice in the mic is Trish. I really need a vacation. Holiday.
Got that right.
That's funny. I was about
Now,
to say that last picture, you dug and found that square toilet picture.
I was going to ask what it was about because, yeah, I like we were saying before the show, I do stalk you. I try to find funny pictures along with some serious ones,
That's a funny one. That was actually when I was at Tampa Comic Con. That was when I first saw a square toilet. I've never seen a square toilet. So.
Now, I was going to ask you, how do you pronounce your last name? Because your last name could have been Brandon. I would have called it Brendan. So I can't ever pronounce last names in the first place. So how do you pronounce your name?
It's the official is Anna Zhuo, kind of like saying Joe or Zhou. But I tend to tell people like it's okay to say Zhao. Though Zhao is Zhao or Zhuo. Because a lot of people are used to ZHOU. Mine is UO. So that's why, some people have typos and stuff like that. But that's fine.
Well, see, Zhou, after a night of pina coladas, I'll be saying Zhou all really good.
I want pina colada, but I'm just drinking like this Arby's for now.
Well, see, I do got my Wawa also, so.
Okay, share. Yeah, I was gonna do some sharing on the official.
Oh, that's fine. You share like.
I like to share. I like to help.
So why do I call you the cover queen, Miss Anna?
Yeah, I'm curious myself.
Well, because when I'm going through searching, you have this cover out, you have that cover. You've done work on lots of covers besides just drawing. You color them also. Mm-hmm. So I've seen you have many different covers that are yours. So I called you the cover queen.
Okay. It's funny. Like, I think it was 2019 is probably when I did the most covers, because that's when I started the comic industry like 2018 or so. I've had a few covers, but it wasn't until 2019 I just took every cover job I could. Because sometimes you just have to when you're starting out. And I was just like bombarded. I bombarded myself a bit.
Look at that. You got your first shout out. You got Paige Alfred. Oh my God, I love Anna.
Oh, hey. Yeah. I met him at Orlando, the show that we were all at.
The Infinity Toy and Comic Con Holiday Edition.
Yeah. Holiday Edition. I really liked that it went on. It was really nice to just get out. Like, I would drive to Orlando. I love Orlando.
Well, Paige says your covers are amazing. See, I'm not the only one who
thinks. Thank you.
Yeah, Paige was a guest at our show. Hopefully he had a good time at our show a couple weeks back. So. Now, I know at the Infinity Toy and Comic Con Holiday Edition, Trish picked up one of your Veronica.
Oh, Vampironica, yeah.
Yeah, Vampironica.
Yeah, that one was a fun one. And the Lady Death colorist, Cece De La Cruz, is the one that colored it. That's the first time I've hired someone else to color my work. Usually I do my own. But that was actually pretty fun. And the way she colored it, I don't remember if I told her to make it the same as the original work of Dave Stevens, but she just took it up a notch, and she did her own color renditions of it, and I really loved it.
It was amazing.
Oh, Trish fell in love with it. Trish is a big Archie Archie fan.
Watch Riverdale.
She watches Riverdale, but she doesn't consider that part of the Archie universe.
No.
Really? They are
can't.
starting to tie it. I have not watched Riverdale. I've heard great things, but I heard they start to tie it with Afterlife of Archie.
I haven't
Speculate.
seen the last couple seasons. It just started off really wrong.
Well,
Oh, okay.
she still watches it, but we consider it. Think of Twin Peaks just with all the Archie characters in it. It's not if you
Okay.
read the comics, it is nothing like the comics. So don't go into it thinking it's going to be anything like the
Oh,
comics.
okay. Yeah, I have not watched it. I actually watched Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Now we
Have
like
you watched
that.
that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that. I'm kind of sad that that was the last season.
But at least they kind of rounded it out because they weren't even supposed to
Okay.
have that. They weren't supposed to even have that last season. They were going to cut it off after 2, but they at least threw the third one in there just to kind of give it a little closure.
Did I don't have to remember if I finished it. I think I have like a few episodes left.
Okay.
But I really like the series, and I'm hoping I think the comics they're I don't know if the current Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is the same thing. I haven't read it.
It's not the original Sabrina. It's more like the newer Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Okay, because I really want to do a cover with the one that's actually tied into the show. Because my local retail shop here that first hired me to do covers, he's big into Archie as well, and that's why we were gonna plan on doing. I don't know if they'll ever come out with it.
Well, you never
And they're
know.
the ones that introduced me to Chilling Adventures, so.
Let's go through real quick. We got Justin Staves that says, "Hi Anna."
Hey, Justin. Yeah, he's the owner of Big Country Comics that recently hired me to do the Eros and Psyche #1, the watercolor cover.
Okay. Well, hi Justin. We're Orlando Collector Deviants, so nice to meet you. Paige says, yes, he did have a good time, and he can't wait till everybody can get all back together.
Oh, yeah.
And then Chris.
He's waiting for Heroes Con.
Well, Paige is a go-getter. I mean, he will hit every convention from here to California. Chris Mason says, Anna.
Hey, Chris.
You say nothing.
That was supposed to be an emoji. Some people may see it, some people may not.
It is an emoji over on Facebook.
Okay.
It's like me with the heart face and a mustache.
Yep, I see that.
So on StreamYard, they say you're just a blank face.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then Brian Silverback says, hi-yo.
And Mr. Silverback's one of the hardest comic book creators out there, I have to say. I know Chris Mason, he was one of my... I will always remember Chris Mason because he's like one of my first fans of one of my fans collecting my comics when I just started. So, yeah.
And Paige says, LOL, so true about being the hardest working. He'd go to every convention he could.
Yeah, I know Paige is, he really wants to go to Heroes Con. And have you been to Heroes Con?
Us? No, we haven't been there.
Oh, you have to. If you're looking for a con that's all about artists and comics, that's the one to be at.
We hear that. It just never, since it's out of state, it's a little more difficult to get time off to go to that.
Okay, yeah. But if you ever have a chance, it's all artists, all art, no celebrities, like, actors, actresses, all comic bin diving.
I was gonna say, aren't you a celebrity? And Paige and everybody. Look at
Thank you. Okay, different type of celebrity. Thank you. Like, some of the. I mean, I know a lot of people like Wizard World, but they have all these long lines for all the actors and actresses.
Yes.
It's not really about the artists or the creators. So Heroes Con is really about that. And they do fundraising. Heroes Initiative is there too. So, 2022.
Well, Paige wants to know what's your next convention.
Actually, I don't know. I actually have not been looking at any conventions for this year. However, if you mean like by shows, I'm actually going to be at Unknown Comics retail store grand opening next Thursday and Friday. Actually, we're going to be live Friday, Saturday, but I'm going to be there till Monday. So that's their first ever retail store to the public. And so they're flying me out there for their little show.
That's in Texas, isn't it?
Yeah, Amarillo, Texas. I also realized Texas is a whole country in itself. Not a state, it's a country. From one end to the other end takes more than 15 hours. Yeah. It's a big state.
We've drove through Texas a couple times.
It's a big state.
Did we or you?
Well,
You have. I haven't.
You were with me when we went from Colorado to Louisiana, and we drove through.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like 116.
Yep.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
That was a few years ago.
It's such a long. I think I know from here, Mobile to Houston, it's here to Dallas is about 10 hours or 11 hours with break. But they're doing a lot of they were doing a lot of constructions on the road too. So
no construction. That doesn't happen on roads.
Especially on Houston. So it was kind of a really bad drive, and I don't want to drive it again.
Well, Brian says 2022 Heroes is going to be lit.
Oh yeah.
And then Paige says HeroCon, let's do it. Marcus H. Roberts, Bradley Golden, Brian Silverbacks, Jonathan Hendricks, and Marvin Wynn.
No, Heroes Con, you guys just have to, especially if you like collecting art, comic book bin diving, and I think Heritage is also there. Now, CGC and CBCS, they're easy to get to.
And Sylvia Lee, are you drinking on it?
Unfortunately, I am not drinking at the moment.
You're
Sylvia Lee is.
You're drinking your soda.
I am drinking my soda, which I haven't had soda in such a long time. So yeah, Sylvia Lee is my best friend here. So.
Well, nice to meet you, Sylvia.
She would. I actually had her come to some cons with me, and she's like my assistant when I need her to be, or my booth babe.
Ah, now are you
she's
a
my
paid?
Booth babe.
Are you a paid booth babe, or are you just
she gets paid. She gets paid. She gets paid in free trip, free ride, free hotel, free food.
That's the way to do it.
And no, I actually buy her a lot of stuff too. But she has fun. She gets to travel with me. She keeps me awake too when I'm driving. We're driving, but I've had her, and she's like a hot model too. So my booth babe. There you go.
Gotta always have somebody who brings them in.
Hey, it must be nice. It must be nice to have somebody on the road trip to keep you awake instead of being asleep themselves.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No,
you know how it is. You on those long drives, and you're sitting there. You start to nod off, and you look over to talk with them, and they're like out, drool coming down the side of the mouth, and it's not okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tommy says, "Hello, everyone."
Hello.
Sylvia says, "Thank you." Yay, hello. See, I can see her emojis. I just can't see.
Mine is a different emoji. It's the more complicated, sophisticated one, not the basic ones. Sorry.
Oh. So, Sylvia, she's saying you're basic. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
1 minute she's calling you a model, and next minute you're basic.
Oh, it's okay. She understands. Right?
Pages. Shots, everybody. It's the best. Oh my God. And hey, Anna.
Hey.
And Paige, hot model, really? Friend request
Hey,
sent.
she's taken. You cannot have her or your assistant. She's only my assistant.
I think he just wants to be friends. Hey, look, I'm friends with her.
Hey, I have to give a shout out to Paige because my assistant manager went to the show and he literally told me he described Paige. I knew exactly who he was talking about. And he said he could not walk away without buying a comic because Paige was so aggressive.
Yeah, I heard Paige.
Crazy.
Paige threatened to knock him the F out if he didn't buy it. So it's only $5, bitch. Get it.
Sometimes you just have to be aggressive to get your work out there.
Exactly.
Nothing. Sylvia says nothing but love.
Yeah.
Now I do have to laugh at Paige because when I first met him, he tried to sell me the same comic book at the same, like the 3 conventions in a row. And it's like, dude, I bought it from you 2 conventions ago.
It doesn't hurt to invest and buy more.
Oh, it
I'm
does.
with Paige on this one.
It does when you're friends with all the artists and you got to buy everybody's books. Kickstarter is making me broke right now.
Oh yeah, I kind of had to stop with Kickstarter because I would go on a buying art book spree because I like to see how people like their backgrounds, how they start with art, and how they do things. And whew, I need to find another job. I need to find a real job.
And Paige says, "LOL, no hogging, Anna. So you can't hog Sylvia all to yourself."
Yes, I can.
She'll fight you, Paige.
So what
I will fight you.
What do you do when you're not drawing?
Thinking about drawing. Actually, I started playing World of Warcraft again.
Ooh, she's one of them people.
Hey, I like them people. I want to get back into it. It's trying to find the time.
I know you are one of them people.
I played since Burning Crusade, and I pretty much, when I was younger, I was a hardcore raider. Like I raided 5 days a week, kind of thing. And then I quit for 4 years. And this current expansion, I like the whole Sylvana storyline. That seemed interesting, so I just came back and I play it here and there. Other than that, I would watch anime, and if I can go hang out with friends, I would. But yeah.
Now, what anime do you watch? Because we watch a lot of anime in this house, so except for Trick.
Right now, I started on the new series because a lot of them just ended, like Reincarnated into a Slime. It's a weird title, but it's actually really fun.
I watched the first few episodes when that first came out.
It's really good. It gets really dark. I love Demon Slayer. They are having a movie premiere on the 23rd, which I have to buy tickets for me and Sylvia to go watch. Because I think we do have a theater that's opened here. Black Clover. There's one that's interesting called Jujutsu Kaisen. That's really good, and a lot of empowering females in that too. What do you guys watch? What have you guys been watching?
Let's see. I just started going back. I started rewatching One Piece here recently. That's the recent.
I can't get into it. There's so many episodes.
And I don't know where to. That's the whole thing. There's so many, and I dropped off like after like 5 seasons because I got busy in the real world, and they're like on 950 episodes now. So it's like, let me go back from the beginning and start watching from the beginning again.
See, because I never started it, it's really intimidating for me to start now because there's so many episodes. Like I did that with Bleach. I love Bleach. I ended up reading the manga and I had to stop. There's so much I couldn't keep up. Same for the anime.
And see, Bleach was one of Bleach. I'll be honest, Bleach was one of the first animes I ever watched. And I only got into that because this was like, maybe 12, 13 years ago. Adult Swim had like New Year's Eve had the whole night was Bleach. And I actually set up the whole night. That's before they did the 4-hour blocks and then repeat. It was when it was the whole night of Bleach from number 1 to whatever episode. And I got hooked, and I hooked my whole family onto that. But me and my family, like I said, Mob Psycho 100 is one of our favorites. My son got me into that one.
Mob Psycho. I've been meaning to watch that one. That looks really cool. How many seasons are there? Do you know?
Two. They're working on the 3rd, but 2 are out right now.
Okay, I can get into that.
That was one of them that they actually played the season premiere of the 2nd season at the movie theaters, and me and my son went, got tickets, and went and watched it, and it was awesome. And of course,
I assume you watched dubbed.
Yeah.
Okay, I watch sub. I'm one of those weirdos that watch and read subtitles.
Well, we watch sub and dubbed because Trish likes the dubbed. Because we sit there, like me and my daughter one night, we were watching Food Wars before it came on Adult Swim. We were watching that, and my wife Trish, she tries to sit there and ignore it, and then all of a sudden you'll hear a giggle here and a laugh, and then what the hell is going on?
Food Wars is amazing. I just hated the ending.
Well, they're making another season because it regained popularity, so they're going to bring out another season.
So really I watch sub on Crunchyroll, so I finished the whole. So basically, the whole series already finished. If you watch sub, so it's already out. I don't know how far they got into the dub, but the thing about I know some people they like to multitask. They like to because you can listen, not have to. But I like to enjoy the animation of it. That's part of. Especially Food Wars, you have to watch it.
Yeah,
I can't multitask. I can't listen to something and draw or something. I have to focus on the anime series. But Food Wars, awesome series. Let's see if you like food.
Have you seen Netflix original Japan Sinks 2020?
No, I actually unsubscribed to Netflix because I really don't watch a lot of TV. All I do is really catch up on the latest anime, and that's about it. I'd watch Netflix with my friends here and there, and that's how I just watched Sabrina. But if you're talking about Netflix, 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh yes, we were fans of that before it became all popular.
Yeah, that's an amazing series too. They're quite a bit. Let's see, but I love all those series. There's some new spring simulcasts that are coming out. So I just watched something called 7 Nights Succession or something like that. I don't know. And you have to watch Fire Force.
Okay.
Fire Force is a lot of action. Is action packed. Of course, My Hero Academia too.
Oh yeah, well of course that's a given right now.
Yeah, they just started. I don't know with the dub if it's in sync, but they just started season 5.
Okay. Let's go to comments. We're getting lots of comments. Paige says, "Much love. Good night, everybody. Anna, be good." And we got Eric says, "Steve, you are Animatrix." Eric's a good friend of ours. He moved because his wife is his sugar mama, and she got a better job somewhere else. But he missed him. He's missed here in the Orlando market. Sylvie says, "I love the slime. I have the slime plush that Anna gave me."
See, I treat Sylvia good.
James, Jujutsu Kaisen and Slime are amazing
Yeah.
series.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know if they have a dub yet, but you have to check that out too. It's very action packed, and it's mixed with ghosts and souls and things like that.
Yeah, well, the dub we watch when Trish is around.
Okay.
The sub we watch when she's not around.
I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah. John Martin, the Prince, says, "What's up, troublemakers?" See, we've had John on the show before. And then Sylvia says she's out. Deuces, you're not paying her enough to stay on. And Marcus says, a little late to the party. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing great.
Oh, great.
I have a little bit more of the pina coladas. I'll be doing really good.
No sliding under the table.
Nope, no sliding under the table. See, I go all week without drinking just to drink on Thursday nights.
Hey, that's good.
Now, if you wanna see a drinking show, tune in next Thursday because we have Tom Ropp here. And
okay.
He actually comes in person because that's how I used to do the show. Was we were in person. He actually still loves coming in person, and we drink all night long.
Okay.
He actually has a section in my beer fridge that's just for him.
Oh, that dedicated, huh?
Yep.
I think ever since I started doing like the con circuit and so full time, I kind of stopped drinking because when I drink, I want to enjoy it, right? But at cons, I'm working most of the time, and I just have this work mentality. But I used to like drink a lot, and now it's just like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I put money into it? It's okay to enjoy it once in a while.
Oh yeah, it went from drinking every night to I drink once a week. That way, my doctor can't yell at me either.
Yeah, and you're still drinking.
Well, yeah, I still drink, but I told her it could be worse. I'm down to 1 day a week. That's
good.
Let's see. James says also Shield Hero Season 2 is coming. That's a good anime.
That's good. I can't wait for that. There's even regular series. There's so many good shows, but so little time. Because I would be one who would just sit in front of the TV and binge. That's why I kind of avoid it. Because I like Umbrella. I haven't finished Umbrella Academy.
We haven't seen Season 2 yet. I know that it's sacrilege, but we haven't. But we're the same way. We don't watch a lot of TV because we have the show. We have Orlando Collector Deviants. Then like we said, we picked up Olo and started doing Olo. So it's like trying to find time to actually watch TV is like hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing with me. It's like I could watch TV or I can work. And the thing about being an artist is since we're all self-employed, you have to work, make products.
Right. So
it's just hard to, and like I said, I binge watch. Like it's a hard thing. It's hard to stop. So I just avoid it altogether. That's why I also avoided games for 4 years.
Well, actually, I took a day off from work after the show last week and before I flew out to Phoenix, and it was one of those, you know what? I haven't turned on my PlayStation in forever, so I'm just going to take the day and I want to play my PlayStation. My son came home.
That's why I also don't have consoles.
My son came home and he's like, Dad, you're playing. I'm like, I know. He's like, I haven't seen you do that for a while. I'm like, I know. I have all these consoles and everything. Just the last couple of years, I just don't find time to play anything.
Yeah, I do not have my own consoles. I'm a big Final Fantasy VII fan, and they had the remake, right? So I didn't have a PS4. I borrowed a PS4, and still, I bought the game, borrowed the PS4. It just sat there for however long it sat there for. I never even played it. I just have to work. I can't. So.
No, I totally understand because, like, we have to work and then we come home and do more work, and most people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did tell Trish that after last week that I do want to try to make a little more time, even if it's just an hour a day, just to maybe watch something on TV or get away from work at home for just focus on something else for at least an hour.
Hey, Stephen Butler in the house.
Oh, yep, Stephen Butler. Hi, Anna, miss you, girl.
Hey, he's well, Silver Sable, Scarlet Spider, famous works. He's currently working on Lady Death a lot with Brian Pulido. He's local here. He comes to visit my local comic shop a lot, and so I like to hang out with him and his daughter at the shop sometimes. It's been a while since I've been to the shop though.
I think a lot of people know who Stephen Butler is, at least in the circles that we're in.
Yeah.
So
I'm just bragging about Steve.
Oh no, go ahead. Go. You
you
have all the bragging rights that you can have. I'm just jealous about the
he's my friend. I know him.
Trish does that with George Perez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's so nice. He's such a character. I have not met him face to face, but we've been to the same shows, and I see how he interacts with people and how he so kind.
Oh, he is. He's one of the nicest guy in the world.
He would do anything for anybody at any time.
Yeah.
It was like what, the C2E2 2 years ago when he was there. Carol, his wife, kept telling him, let's go. And he's like, no, these people paid to see me and I'm going to stay until every single one of them sees me. So he's just really cool, down to earth. One of our favorite stories is we ran into him on the streets of Chicago, and he told us that he had just came out of graham crackers, and he's like, he walked in there and nobody knew who he was, and he kind of liked that feeling that nobody knew who he was. Then the manager came out,
the owner
came out, saw who he was, and came out, took pictures. He looked at us, he's like, it's probably already up on eBay.
The crazy thing is sometimes that happens. Sometimes I wonder, what was Stan Lee's life like? Having all these, it has to be very stressful.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you kind of learn how to deal with situations like that, but
he was an amazing showman,
and he was very ornery.
Yeah, he liked to, because our daughter works MegaCon every year, and she would come home. She's like, freaking Stan Lee got away from his trainers again and coming over and causing havoc over with the rest of the artists, because he'd like to go hang out with some of his friends, Yeah,
he would get on his scooter and escape.
Yep, he kept escaping his handlers.
The last time and the only time I've ever saw Stan Lee was Wizard World New Orleans 2019 or 2018, one of those. It was before he passed away, and that was also the show where Jason Momoa was just walking around, buying stuff. If Sylvia was in the stream, she would talk about it because Jason Momoa was literally in front of my booth. Walk past and then behind us.
So
I didn't realize it until she mentioned it. And, we see his bodyguards with him, and he was just shopping around. He wanted to shop.
That
was when David Mack was the booth next to me, too.
Now, Daryl says Stan Lee's life was cooler than Steve's. But Daryl, you weren't in Stan Lee's life, so you're in my life, so I have to have a little coolness factor. Now, Daryl's probably watching us from the bed because he likes to go to bed early.
It's really early.
Well, he gets up, he travels, he's a doid.
Oh, okay.
Viewer.
Okay.
But now the thing is, he's watching in bed. Now we got to figure out if he's got clothes on or if he doesn't tonight. That tells us what kind of mood he's in, and he'll tell us here shortly. Marcus says almost got to see Stan Lee back in 2012, but even then his fees were easily triple digit.
Yeah, sometimes those fees, it's either some contract between them and the show. They got to make up the money for having him out there too, because I'm sure his fee to be out there was really high.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to it, but I kind of regret not getting anything from him that show. But it is what it is. What a legend.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to get something signed by him, and then we were able to be part of a product unveiling. So we got to go behind the curtains where he got to see it for the first time and take pictures and everything. So that was cool.
That's cool.
So we were lucky enough to get to be there and see that. See his little. He had a bed behind the curtains and everything, so he could take his naps. And
that's cool.
It was really cool.
I know I've seen a lot of sometimes I like to live through J. Scott Campbell, because him and J. Scott Campbell were pretty close. And a lot of the big artists, having dinners together and things like that. So I'm like, that's so cool.
Oh, I love listening to, because we get a lot of people who used to work for Marvel that we know, and just hearing the stories that they had with him and how cool he actually was. And so I like to live my life through like everybody else.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, how's it going? Tony's sitting there saying,
hello.
Hey to everybody. He's another, he's pretty much my best friend out here.
Okay.
He's been with Orlando Collector Deviants from the beginning. We both took separate paths here later on in life, but I still consider him one of my best friends.
That's good. That's good.
Daryl says, I'm in the car, perp. Jeff had baseball tonight. It still doesn't mean that you're not dressed. We've heard your stories. And Murray says, hey guys, I'm super happy I was able to meet Stan once, like 8 years ago at Calgary Expo. Was at the end of his signing. He was so tired, but he made time to look up and gave me a big smile. And thank you. When I told him meeting him made my weekend. Yeah, he was a great guy. I'm going to say a lot of what he had to do where he wasn't allowed to interact was a lot of his handlers. Because I know when the time we had something signed by him, he actually showed up like 4 hours late.
I think so, yeah.
And because of that, when he came in, you know how you weren't supposed to take pictures of him or anything. They let us all take pictures and everything and that was at his request. He's like, look, I'm late. They've been standing in line for 4 hours waiting for me. So we got to take pictures and he shook some hands to people. I was mad because I was in the middle of that line. So I wasn't on the outside where I could shake his hand.
It was hot.
I know that, they have to have some protocol, and some people, they're just doing their jobs. So, when a celebrity, especially like that, when they just do what they want. I mean, it's nice. It's just, it's the people that work there, it's like they don't know what to do.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so I kind of feel bad for that half the time, because they're just trying to do their job.
Well, that's our daughter, like working at MegaCon. Her highlight is she got to carry Stan Lee's chair. One of her highlights, her Stan Lee stories, because they were taking it to the photo shoot and somebody dropped it, so she picked it up and got to take it over to the photo shoot. Now her biggest claim to fame at MegaCon was, and I tell this story all the time, and I'm going to tell it again. When she would come home at night, we'd sit here having dinner, and I'd always ask her what went on. She's like, "Yeah." One night I don't know what we were eating, but I'm like, "So what's going on? Who'd you see today?" "Oh, I was with some guy, he drew like the Dark Knight or something like that." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "You met Frank Miller?" "Oh yeah, that's who it was." I'm like, what did you guys talk about?" "Oh, me going to college and this and that." And she just, it was just a thing to her. I'm like, you realize people were paying $200 just go up and take a picture with him. And
Not
you
even
sat
talk, just take a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, and you sat there talked about college and this and that.
Just chit-chatted with Frank Miller.
But I'm sure Frank enjoyed that too, you know.
Oh yeah, they do.
Like, I mean, I get
think
it, you know, they're all famous people, but sometimes it's just enjoyable to just meet someone who doesn't know who you are.
And I
Just
think
like George Perez in the restaurant where no one knew who he was. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, like for us, don't get me wrong, George Perez is George Perez, Wonder Woman creator, you know, an amazing person to me when I'm sitting here. But when I'm with George is a friend.
George is just George at that time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting to know him, I got to see the artist of George and then George.
We've ate at IHOP with George, you know.
Right.
I mean, so it's one of those that that's the one thing when we were at C2E2, listening to everybody. "Oh my God, did you see George? He looked up and smiled at me or waved," and I'm sitting there. It's like, but that's just George, you know.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's kind of like, you know, when sometimes I share stories about like Archer. Like, yeah, I was just having dinner with Archer.
Oh yeah,
Right.
see?
Yeah. We were just talking about like, you know, regular stuff. Or
Okay,
like,
let
me think. You know, being an artist, you know, I got to meet a lot of people I looked up to. And a lot of people know me mainly about Art Germ because I followed his work since I was younger. And this was before comics or anything like that. So it was really cool.
Well, I was the same way the first time I met John Beatty.
Ooh.
And it was so funny. We met John Beatty and everything, and then I'm sitting there. We just started Orlando Collector Deviants, and I'm working on the site, and all of a sudden it comes up, "John Beatty likes your page." I flipped out.
That's exciting. Yeah.
I yelled. Trisha's
John
like, "What?"
Beatty follows you.
Right?
That's so exciting to see. It's like nerd moment, geek moment. Fan.
Yeah. Okay, let's go up to the comments real quick before we get too far behind. Daryl says, "What the hell? You told me I was your best friend. You are live, dude. I heard you."
Cheating.
There's our friend Boris. Greetings from the Cracker Barrel.
Hello.
And
like the restaurant Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, he likes the Cracker Barrel.
I love that place.
And Daryl, well, this program just got glid. Boris is here. Probably lit.
Probably good.
Good.
Just got good.
Okay.
Yeah, show just got good.
Down below.
Show just got good. Okay, and Boris met Barney Miller once, although he could have been drunk and just talking to the TV at random times. I can see Boris doing that.
Right?
I don't think I've ever met Frank Miller, but the other Stardom time, it just came across my mind because we were talking about Frank Miller. I was actually at SDCC for the first time in 2019, and I was advertised because I was a guest for like a few hours at the CGC booth. That was how I got into SDCC.
Oh, we're talking with somebody who went to San Diego Comic-Con. Woohoo!
See,
okay, sorry.
She
I
just put
my
you
way
on
in
there.
there.
But you got there, so.
But the cool thing is, I was advertised along with Jim Lee, Frank Miller, the the guy who wrote Walking Dead. Tyler Kirkham. It was cool because CGC sent out this whole newsletter, and it listed everybody that was like famous and stuff. And there I am. Who's Anna? Why's her signature free? That's the whole thing. Like the whole article was like, her signature is free. That must be nice. I'm trying to like find it too. It was really, really cool though.
So see, you're cool more than you think you are.
See?
I guess maybe. I'm trying to like find this thing because I thought I had saved it.
And Josh says, "What's up, Anna?"
Hello.
And James Jackson, Anna Banana, always a special spot in my comic book memories.
Robert Kirkham. Yes, Robert Kirkham. His signature is expensive, but that's fine. Let's see. SDCC 2019 signatures.
Boris says, yes, Boris had to drive Master to Cracker Barrel. They have over 65 dementia speed dating tonight, and the Master wanted to wear some new Aqua Velva he bought. And James says, Robert Kirkman. And Daryl, Boris, give me a drum roll. We interrupt this program to let you know I am now pantless.
Get comfortable.
Trish, other side.
Oh, right here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ryan Otley, Frank Miller, Robert Kirkham, J. Scott Campbell, Tyler Kirkham, and Jim Lee. And then it's like, who is this Anna chick?
Hey, you made it up to the big leagues without even realizing.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
I don't blame you.
See,
and Jim Lee is also another cool person.
Yeah, I want to see. I did not get into comics till I did my first cover in 2017, but I didn't really get into comics until like 2018. And I read a lot more indie stuff. Then because I feel like I'm a little late into getting to the whole main Marvel and DC. I mean, I get that they have all these new spins and alternate reality or alternate universes right now, but still, I would like to meet Jim Lee one day and work with him.
Indie is where it's at, though. I mean,
yeah, I really love indie books.
And speaking of indie books, we got Aaron Robloski. He just had a Kickstarter for one of his books that just funded. Hey, how you doing today, Aaron?
Congratulations! I really like seeing all the indies out there, and the fact that whoever created Kickstarter is genius, and Indiegogo. So, and I think with this pandemic, with COVID, I think indie has been more on the rise than ever before. I know a lot of the big names, especially like what was it, Aspen. They've taken Fathom to Kickstarter as well. Anything Michael Turner. So you got some of the people on there too. I know Dynamite's been doing things through Kickstarter as well.
Oh yeah. Speaking of another Kickstarter person, Wubba Fett. He's with Silverline.
Hello.
He works with John Martin and Roland and all of them over there. And then Boris says, Boris can give you breakfast biscuit, but you're late to the party. Boris has been without trousers since round 3 of the O.C.D dating, where he realized only 10 people going from table to table and forgetting that they already talked to the person. And Daryl, I assume Anna lost a bet or was having to do community service is why she was here. Either way, she took a wrong turn in Albuquerque. Look, she's here the same reason you hang around me, because of Trish, okay?
Trish did reach out to me, so...
Well,
I am the reason.
She reached out to you at the show, at Infinity Toy and Comic-Con. And then you were supposed to be on the show a couple times, and it just... This time it actually finally worked out in our favor.
Yeah, I know the first time I had the major toothache, I finally got those removed. But right now I have
Yeah.
like new issues, like so you have two molars. Well, besides your wisdom, I got the back one next to my wisdom removed, both sides. But now I have issues on the first molars because I think because of those extractions, they probably chipped something. Because I know my sinus on my left has been bad and it's sensitive. Like when you drink something cold and you have a cavity.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have to get that checked. And if
Well,
anything, I cannot remove those. I have to get like a
well,
root canal.
you know what I'm going to tell you? Put a little more alcohol on it.
Yeah, that's what my friend says too. At the local comic stores, like just drink more.
Aaron says, I'm great. Thanks for working hard. He's working hard on issues 3 and 4. That's good. Hope you are all well. We're doing good. I hope you're doing good. And Boris picked up a lot of indie comics at Olo, and honestly, the indie stuff is a lot more interesting than
It
the
is
mainstream. Now,
new ideas.
Boris also reviews horror comics. So he picked up a whole bunch. He picked up some from Page and from Second Sight Publishing and those guys.
I know the recent one. I have not read it. My friend did the Cult of Dracula rework, and now I think they were published through Source Point Press. But I heard they were kind of sold out. The thing about indie is it's more creations, more idea, more diverse, more creativity. I know with the mainstream, they have a certain rule or guideline within themselves. But India has more room for creativity.
Agreed.
Yes.
I like I know I like reading a lot of the Image stuff.
Well, that's why you want to meet Jim Lee. Oh.
Yeah, that too.
Let's see. Daryl says Trish is where it's all at. Man, Ola was great. Trish did a super good job. Yep, she did a great job watching her buildings burn down.
Right.
Kelsey says hello. Hey, Kelsey. We've been talking
Hello.
about you and meeting Frank Miller and everything. Kelsey's our daughter. She's at work right now. And Daryl says, Kelsey, there we go. Now, see,
Did
I've
she at
only
least get a picture with Frank Miller just because?
no,
Even though
because
she didn't know it was Frank.
when you're working when you're working the con, you can't really do that kind of stuff.
Was she a handler for
Yeah,
him?
she was a handler
Okay.
for him.
Okay.
She always tries to stay in Artist Alley. Amanda, huh?
Who as a handler? I know as a handler, sometimes they just, even if you don't know them, sometimes they just give you stuff.
Well, the last MegaCon, she was Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmati. Yeah. She was the handler there. She got Amanda's phone number and a metal print of Harley from her.
She got her phone number. That means guest time.
She can't find the phone number now. I'm like, because I'm telling Trish, I'm like, get with Kelsey, get her on here, because I know she's local here, out of Tampa. So Kelsey says hello, Daryl, and then Josh says it's interesting. Seems like Lamar, Cates, Johns, etc. do books at Image and Dark Horse for occasional creator total freedom.
Yes, I know. Todd McFarlane. I know Kate is gonna be writing the new one of the Spawn universes. I have not read Spawn, but it's really cool. I think Todd McFarlane is one of the biggest indie guys that everybody talks about, especially his Kickstarter. Holy hell!
And Kelsey's telling me to shush, so I'm not supposed to say what she got. Okay, so Kevin Boyd isn't watching this, and if he does, well, it sucks for you. See that was one Kevin Boyd because he runs all the Fanboy Expo
The
stuff.
and they
Yeah,
recently bought Denver. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I liked was Kevin knew who we were, and he asked Kelsey the last MegaCon if we were gonna show up and do our thing there. We didn't because MegaCon doesn't consider us press. So I'll stick with Reed Pop because they consider us press.
You are pressed though.
Yeah, we are, but according to their standards, we're not. So it's okay because like I told Trish, Reed
I guess
Pop.
they have a whole rule.
Yeah, because they actually have an outside company that goes through for the press passes and all that. So you have to impress them. But like I said, we Reed Pop loves us. So I will go to C2E2. I will go to Super Con down here in Tampa. One day they'll let us into New York. That's a huge one. So we still get denied for that, but one day we'll get in there.
Have you been to New York Comic Con?
Nope. We try to get into that one. That one's a hard one for us to get into.
No, just to go like as a.
Yeah, even trying to get tickets is kind of difficult.
Oh yeah.
So.
When I first learned how to get tickets for New York and San Diego, I was like, no way. That's too much work.
Yeah, with the whole lottery and this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, one day we'll get there, and because New York always goes on in October. My birthday's in October, so I'm like, that's
birthday present.
Yeah, it's a great birthday present.
Let's see. I lucked out in being able to go to these big shows because of Unknown Comics, because I did not have enough work to even impress them enough to get a table. It's really competitive, so I'm still trying to get a table on my own just to see if I can. I mean, Unknown Comics will always give me a spot at their booth, but sometimes you just want to get in on your own.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, we're the same way. Because like when we were first starting, people were like, "Well, we'll get you in," even if they don't consider. And it's like, no, like the time when we got the first acceptance into C2E2, we were so excited. I actually we got the announcement on my birthday that we got to go into the C2E2 for the next year, and it's like we did it. We finally,
Yeah, I see. It's so rewarding. I mean, it's a pride thing too, but it's like all the hard work paying off as a validation.
Yeah.
So I'm still like applying to these shows, even though I can like get in another way. But yeah.
What was the first one that you got into on your own?
Before I did the comic industry, I actually did a lot of anime game ones. So do you want to know the comic part, or do you want to know like the first ever con?
First ever con.
It's a local Mississippi con. It was called Geekonomicon. My friends ran it. It was in Biloxi, Mississippi. I don't remember if it was juried or not. This was back at the end of 2015, and my first ever show. So I'm like, I buy all the supplies and all these planning how to like design my booth and everything. So let's see. I have a whole spreadsheet of all the cons I've been to, but that one, and then afterwards was probably something called Anime Weekend Atlanta. It was a big anime show that I could not believe I even got into, because all these shows are jury. So they it doesn't matter like if you pay money or not. They still look at your portfolio, what you have to offer, and they handpick. Some shows they do first come first serve jury or lottery jury, but so it was kind of like a feat, and really happy that I even got in, because I was still like a new artist, and a lot of people, that's the show to be in if you're an anime artist. So Let's see. List.
While you're looking real
Another
quick, I'm
one.
going to go through the comments. Josh says, God Country was great. Kate's indie stuff is better, and that's hard to believe. And Kelsey says, I take my leave now before more embarrassing stories. That's what you get for being our daughter. Jennifer says, happy belated birthday. She's one of the local artists over here. Really good. How do I pronounce her? She is a current artist with a creative or classic touch.
Yeah.
Current artist with a classic touch. Everything has kind of a, when she draws, it has a classic kind of vintage feel to it, which really comes out really good. Boris says there's Melanoma Con back in the old country. Free tickets if you have more than 4 oddly shaped skin lesions. We'll wait till that one sinks into her.
Let's see. So
Josh better be back in Memphis, Anna.
of course, I'll bring Sylvia too.
I would like to check out your website. What is the site link? If you check the ticker down at the bottom, Jennifer, it has her Facebook page and her web page going across it.
On my webpage, I have like a portfolio kind of thing, and I have some old work there, but mine is more so like anime inspired. But I have done more realistic visual arts. Let's see. I think the first comic show that I really got into myself was Tampa. Tampa was kind of like you do kind of pay your way, but it's also kind of juried. So I really like that. And Pensacon. Pensacon is local here, but it's really big. However, because Pensacola is such a small city, it doesn't have a convention center. So it uses an arena. And it's really small. It's really unique. It has over 20,000 people. So it's really packed, and there's always a wait line to even get in because of fire code standards and stuff like that. So that one was a big one as well.
So Boris wants to know if he should go back to Turnip Fest and DirtCon jokes, since you didn't like his melanoma one.
I didn't get that one.
Well, you know what melanoma is, right? That's the skin cancer.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't get it.
Melanoma is cancer.
Oh,
so
okay.
You get free tickets if you have 4 oddly shaped skin lesions. So, okay, Boris, go back to the Turnip Fest.
I can go the DirtCon jokes. See, I can handle all the dirty jokes and stuff like that. I find those funny.
Well, no, it's actually he will make jokes about dirt.
You know, how do you make jokes about dirt? I'm interested. Oddly enough.
There you go, Boris. You have a challenge.
I'm interested. So I can up my dirt joke games in the future.
And just so everybody knows, Trish just tagged the website there in all the comments. So everybody can go and check those out right there. And also, like I said, on the ticker tape, run across the bottom.
2018. Okay, Wizard World New Orleans was beginning of 2018.
Now, I heard that's the only Wizard World worth going to anymore.
As an attendee, most likely. If you're looking to vend there or be an artist, good luck, because the tables are about $400 and it's not worth it. Unless you're just really super famous, but you have to kind of compete with people who are selling prints for like $5. Or like a lot of VHS, DVD bootleggers. And a con that doesn't really care about you. That's my opinion.
Well, Wizard World was one of those conventions me and my son, when he was a lot younger, wanted to always go to. It always looked cool. And then once we got into the convention world and everything and showcasing them, we found out that, yeah, that was one convention we really never wanted to go to.
I don't know the history of any of the Wizard Worlds, but I know that they changed or bankrupt or something. My friends were telling me because they kind of lived through that. And the only ones worth going to is the main one, I think, in Chicago, and the New Orleans one. The thing is, when a con, this is on the artist vendor side, when a con has to do Black Friday sales on vendor tables, there's a problem. And that they're always doing some sort of they try to bring out new shows. So they did Wizard World Montgomery and Wizard World Biloxi at the same time that local shows were happening. So that was kind of really like them being an ass. But the thing is, they make these new shows just to get your money because they want you to pay up front once you apply, right? I mean, and then they take forever to refund. So I knew when they had like these shows announced in the area, like, yeah, I'm not going to apply until last minute because they always have tables. But my experience with Wizard World in New Orleans was not really good in terms of, with the con itself. But I'm sure as an attendee, they probably you'd enjoy it, especially on the celebrity side. So yeah.
See, and that's the one thing we're not. There are a couple of celebrities that we have met, but we don't usually go to them for the celebrities. We usually go there for the comics and the artists and creators.
Yeah,
there.
Wizard World is not it. Wizard World is for celebrities.
No, don't get me wrong. Like we've met Brandon Roth, Superman Returns, the Atom on Arrow, and all that. We've met in Practical Jokers up at C2E2. So and I can't remember her name, but the lady who does the voice of Naruto.
I know who you're talking about.
She
But
was
yeah,
so.
Hmm?
I was just saying she was so happy when we went to get her autograph. We were talking about a different show she was on, and she's like, "Oh, somebody who knows me from something else."
Yeah.
I thought I'd be helpful, but I can't pronounce her first name. It's Maile.
Oh yeah, for the lady.
Flanagan. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as she knows who I'm talking about. It's anime, so she knows who I'm talking about.
Right.
I've
trying to
seen
be
a lot
helpful.
of the guests, the voice actors and actresses. I see them a lot, especially the My Hero ones, because they do so many voices for other big shows as well.
Yeah.
And they tend to be. My friend runs the group called ABC Conventions. The one that runs Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama Comic Con. They tend to get those guests. So I've seen, and Pokemon, Naruto, they're part of that. They do so many voices. Like Tara Strong. She does all the My Little Ponies, and yeah.
So Boris is meeting your challenge.
Yeah, I read that.
How do you make dirt jokes? You gotta dig down deep and hope you don't soil yourself when you perform.
That's funny. And then and then Pepper, my supervisor.
Oh.
Now I saw he was taste testing your brush water this morning.
Yeah. That was a while ago, but she gets curious. Don't you, Pepper? She gets curious. She's turning 1. She's a big cat. She's turning 1 in a week. But yeah. Oh, you want to get out?
She's like, "Get out. I'm done."
That's like Trish when Trish is on camera.
Yep.
Are you done? Are you done? No. Do you want a dirt joke? She might want a dirt joke.
Now, I loved, because you look like you're an animal lover, because I saw lots of pictures of doggies and
Yeah, I have a dog. Cat is kind of new. I was allergic to cats, but surprisingly I was not allergic to her. Sylvia is the one that fostered her and the sister cat. So I wasn't sure about getting a cat at first because they're so different from dogs. I'm always a dog lover. So yeah, she's all right.
I had to show Trish last night because I was going through your pictures and stuff, and you had pictures of a golden dog way back when.
The pit
Yeah.
bull. Yeah, that was with an ex-boyfriend, and I would have taken her. Her name's Rosie, and she's really the most lovable pit mix I've ever met. Pits are all so lovable.
Well, I had to show Trish because it looks exactly like my dog Max.
No.
And I'm looking at Trish like, look, she has a Max.
They're so cute and so cuddly.
Well,
I moved to an apartment. I can't have a young pitty in my apartment. They're not allowed in this complex. They only recently allowed German Shepherd mix, and my dog is a German Shepherd mix.
Well, see, that's the nice thing because Max is not, even though you can only see a little bit of it in his nose, he's not labeled as a pit mix. He's labeled as what?
He looks like a Weimaraner,
like a golden Weimaraner lab mix.
Yeah, okay. I know some people who have pit here. They tend to be labeled as a Labrador Retriever mix.
That's what my daughter's dog is. It looks nothing like a black lab, where my Max could be any other dog but a pit. You know, my daughter's dog it's a pit, even though the paperwork says black lab. I was like, okay, it gets us into where we live. So
my dog, I actually got him a DNA test way long ago. He's 12. He's 12 right now, but he looks really young, but definitely looks like a lab German Shepherd. So I can't lie about him being a husky mix. I mean, he does have that one blue eye, but yeah, he was hiding here a while ago, but he's just probably laying on the sofa now. Pepper, my cat, comes in every now and then.
Well, my Max, where he has a bed wherever I'm at. He has he's here. Damon, he stood up, but he has a bed next to me here. He has a bed in the living room. He has a bed in our bedroom, and my workstation out in the garage. He has a bed underneath the desk. So
I thought about that. I have carpet, so he likes the carpet. I thought about getting another cat tower in my office just for my cat to sleep in, or in the back or something. But,
well, after the show, I'll move the camera where you can see Max, and you can see.
I love doggies.
He's a rescue. I actually got him at a convention.
Okay, lay down.
Oh, at a convention.
Yeah, because they had the Brevard County Sheriff's Office animal control there, and he was one of them. And every time I turned around, he was there. And it took me like 5 hours to convince my wife, and then she finally said, "Okay, I could have him." He wasn't there anymore.
Oh.
They had left, so
okay.
I had to run all the way across town, and I beat them there, and they left like a half hour before us. And they're like, "How did you get here so quick?" And I looked at him. I said, "Do you want him adopted?" "Okay, here you go."
Oh. Yeah, Zara was a rescue. I've had him since 2 months old. So yeah, he's grown old with me. It's my first ever dog, and my dad's like, no dogs. And now he treats it like his grandchild.
Of course.
Yeah. No dogs. I'm allergic to dogs. No cats. I'm allergic to cats. That's always his excuse. I'm allergic.
Well, Jennifer says she loves studio kitties. She has one of those too. Pepper is cute.
Yeah. She's a little mischievous, but she's a pretty good cat. And when I had the picture of her diving into the watercolor, it was clear water, but she has attempted to drink my actual paint water before, and she didn't like it.
Well, Boris says Boris was accused of throwing dirt in his neighbor's flower garden. He denied it. The plot thickens. And Kelsey says karma is superior. No. We found out our daughter's dog is autistic.
Uh-huh.
And so once we figured out she is autistic, it made handling her a lot easier.
Yeah.
And
that does help.
And a lot of people like dogs can't be autistic, and like, yeah, they can be.
I mean,
And
dogs can also have a lot of things. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but once we found out and we started doing things differently with her, she's like a great dog.
Yeah.
And Boris says Boris went to the library to get a book about soil. They only had one copy, and it was already out on loan. You asked for the dirt jokes, so now you're going to get dirt jokes.
Funny.
Well, Boris is here all night, and then on Saturday night he's over on Monster Manor. Trish will tag that one.
I'm going.
So I'm going to go back to what got you into drawing. I know a lot of anime. When I was going through your pictures, a lot of your early stuff was anime. But what actually got you into drawing?
I think, honestly, it's kind of weird to answer that question because, I mean, I've drawn since I was really little. Like, my mom told me I would just trace pictures from, the pictures on the chairs when I was like 3 or something. What's out?
He's like, get out. I think it's more of my way of expressing. I had a lot of issues when I was younger, and with art, it's kind of a way to vent, so to speak. I hope that makes sense.
It is, because that's how I got into gaming. That was my way of venting, was in gaming.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same thing, artwork and gaming, but like in the gaming world, I could kill people and not go to jail. So
yeah, I mean, I gamed a lot, but more so the whole the MMORPG side. Not so much the Call of Duty or Counter-Strike. I mean, I did meddle in Counter-Strike for a bit, but I'm more of a fantasy, different alternate world kind of thing.
Well, I love my RPGs, but you got to remember I'm older than you, so MMORPG.
MMO means multiplayer.
Yeah,
but
online.
It's RPGs. It's basically RPGs, but you can play with your friends.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, when I was younger, we didn't have that. If you wanted to play with the
Dragons.
Yeah, but that was the board game. I'm talking like or not board game. You know what I'm talking, tabletop.
Yeah.
But like video gaming, I was Atari 2600. Nintendo first came out.
Yeah,
I'm
but
old.
Atari, I've heard so many great things about Atari. I think my first ever was a Super Nintendo, not the original. Wait, maybe the original one? I don't know. Probably, but I've never played with an Atari.
I think the oldest would be Nintendo and Dream.
Is it called Dream Saga?
Oh, Sega.
Yeah. And then they came out with Nintendo 64, which was a little fancy.
Oh yeah. Tony says Grand Theft Auto 5 for life. Yeah, I still see that they're doing still more updates.
I've never really gotten to GTA, maybe because it was a bit more too with the real world. I have to have like fantasy.
Yeah,
magic. elves and shit like that.
Well, when you're talking like Final Fantasy VII, I've been there for every Final Fantasy. I still have every one of them because I don't give away my my video game stuff. So I still have all of those. I have the first Personas. I have all that stuff. Dragon Warrior.
I didn't get into Persona. Have you ever played Legend of Dragoon?
Yep.
I heard they're trying to remake it. I
That
don't know
would
if it's
be.
a rumor.
It would be nice. There's a few that I would love to see come back. Because like I said, I have all those Legend Dragoon, Legend Dragoon 2, Dragon's Quest, Dragon Warrior, all of those, even Ultima from way back when. I have all those, so that's what I always grew up with, the RPGs. Mario's nice and everything every once in a while, but I love, like you said, the fantasy. It's a whole different world, and you can be whoever you want to be.
But that was my thing about drawing. I didn't really get serious about drawing until like maybe 2011 or so, because being an artist was kind of frowned upon, in any culture really, especially in my culture. The stereotypes are
The New
there
York
because
culture?
Chinese,
Oh, okay.
Asian.
I know I
Gotta
wasn't
be a
going there. I was
doctor.
trying to throw a joke in there.
I know. I noticed that. But it's always no. You have to be a doctor. The Asian jokes.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be a doctor, lawyer, nurse, or something. Which is funny because my youngest brother, he is now a software engineer, and I actually wanted to go to school for computer engineering. But my dad was all against like computers and stuff. It'll be like, the death of me. And now he's like embracing all this technology stuff. Like, yeah, I should have went to school for computer engineering and making big bucks right now. But
now speaking of that, do you prefer? I don't know. Do you prefer drawing freehand or do you digital draw?
I do both, but I prefer freehand. I prefer the traditional because you feel like, I mean, it's the texture's different, the amount of work you put in is different, and it's a unique, one of a kind piece. I do digital, and you definitely learn a lot. Yeah, that's really cool.
That's my whole wall of originals.
Oh, I like the
the Vader's Dark Rum thing.
Yeah.
That's actually an original too. That's all burned in and everything.
Yeah.
So
I like that. It's really clean.
But
I have interest in things like that too, like just handwork. I mean, digital has its benefits. I definitely learned a lot of traditional things for traditional work through digital. But when I was growing up and drawing is always traditional, I actually hated digital. I didn't like drawing digital. I actually used the mouse most of the time instead of like tablet. So I did a lot of drawings with the mouse. But really, I just drew for fun, for expressing things like that. And then my friend, she was my ex-mother-in-law she was my mother-in-law at that time. She embraced the whole art culture. Like when I moved here, Mobile is very visual arts, heavy on the art. And she was very positive and supportive of it. So I felt more comfortable diving into more and actually practicing and maybe consider it more than just a hobby. But I still went to school. At the time, I went to school for elementary education. So I was going to get my teacher's license. But then I also, through that, I realized that I wanted to teach art with kids. Just something with inspiring others with art. And then, with another route in my life that happened was the idea of art therapy. So
That's actually cool.
It just kind of connected, and then more things happened in my life. My personal life, it was kind of crazy a few years ago, and then my cooperating teacher talked to me, sat me down, had the come to Jesus meeting. And she's like, Anna, you have to do this art thing. That's your calling. And some more things happened, and I started doing shows. The more I posted online, the more views it got, the more validation, And I started taking this, hey, maybe it's time to do a show. And that, getting accepted, more validation. I'm like, hey, maybe I can really do this. So I took it more seriously, and people started to want to pay me for my work. I'm like, okay, we can do this. And I started making more money than what I was working. I was working for my friend's TCG store. I have knowledge in TCG stuff too. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. I love art. I like expressing. I like showing others that they can do this too, and sharing my story. So it just went on from there. I hope that all made sense.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. No, it all makes sense. That's why Trish was saying that was actually kind of cool.
Especially, what was it? A lot of mainly females that I know get kind of intimidated by the comic industry too. Oh, and the whole comic thing. When I was working with my friend, I actually showcased. A lot of artists, they don't like showcasing their work.
Oh yeah, because a lot of artists actually hate their work.
Yeah, and that is a big hump to get over. I mean, many artists will get over it. I got over it. There will always be things I don't like, but I know other people have different eyes. That's the thing about art. People see things differently. People interpret things differently, and that's okay. As long as your main point is across. So regardless of what I like and don't like, other people can appreciate it in their own way. So I started showcasing my work at I had a little corner booth. My friend allowed me to put my stuff in there and sell some of my little trinkets and charms. And the local comic store guy, who also did CGC and stuff, his name is also Steve Hyatt. He owns Port City Comics and is the only comic store still alive in this city right now. He was like, hey, let's try this. Even if your style is more anime, it's different in the comic industry. Let's do a cover. Let's try this out. And it just all kind of began from there. But yeah. What was the question again?
I don't know, but I like where it went to. So, well, Jennifer has a question for you.
Okay,
and what you said kind of goes into that a little bit. I noticed that the anime characters often have slim, petite forms, and some of your characters are pretty busty and curvy. Is that due to popularity to make that creative decision? ? Just curious.
Actually, so a lot of the mainstream anime, they do tend to be more slim, but I tend to mix it with realistic proportions. I tend to like the bustier and curvy characters. It gives them more shape. Some characters, they're slim, it's fine, but yeah. There's some things I do draw slim, like if it's Sailor Moon characters, but these days I tend to mix. Sometimes girls need to have meat and not bones. But I don't know if it's due to popularity or I just naturally did it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go on to the next Jennifer thing. I heard they are taking some Atari games, and they probably are. They try to bring those back every so few years. They try to bring back some of the Atari games. And then she says, your watercolor technique is lovely.
Thank you. I tend to do a lot of mixed media. When my friend, my mother-in-law at that time, she did a lot of. She was also exploring watercolor, and she introduced me to it, and that's how I started doing the whole anime mixed watercolor work. But I did try some more visual art, traditional visual art. My cat's trying to climb on my chair, but she's too big now. She used to do it when she was small. She would like climb up here. But now you're too big, girlie.
Now I'm going to go back kind of what you were saying about how you draw some of the stuff just by instinct. That's how you do it. I noticed one of your on the sketchbook site that you said that you were happy that you had a left facing or right.
Yeah.
Yeah, left facing because you normally do right facing. So
yeah. So when you draw or when you see things, I'm right now I'm facing the screen. It's a left right brain thing. If you're right hand dominant, most artists, they tend to draw characters facing, it would be their right. If you're looking at paper, it would be facing left. So, but it's still technically right. Every drawing I've done, if you're looking at the paper, it's always facing left. And people have noticed that, and you will start noticing with a lot of artists.
Yeah,
you're probably right hand dominant.
You made me start looking at my wall back there, and
I see a lot of it's either they're looking up front or leaning towards a specific side.
Yeah.
So when I try to draw towards my right hand, meaning they're looking right, it's kind of weird. Your pencil and hand control starts acting weird because your perception and how you perceive all the information kind of gets jumbled. So that's why sometimes like when I draw, I would flip it and look it up on the light, because then you'll see the opposite side of the picture. Let me see if I can shine this.
Yeah.
You see one side and then you see the other side. But yeah, I've always had trouble drawing the opposite side. So that piece I was kind of proud of. Just a little thing. I mean, it sounds confusing, but I know some artists have that kind of issue too. And
now,
I know.
Is that something that you've always known about, or is it something that just came to light, or?
I've always known about it, so I have tried drawing with my left hand before, and I know. So I'm right hand dominant, and when I like write words, it leans a specific way. If I use my left, and even for lefties, when they write, they lean a specific way. So it's just things like that, something with your brain and how the information is transcribed. So it's actually pretty interesting. And even in the thread that I posted, Anna Sketchbook is like my fan group kind of thing. Some artists have said they look at things upside down, or they use their phone to look at the picture, because the data that goes in your head when you look through an image on your phone is different from looking at it directly. So it is kind of neat and cool at the same time, though I could never do the whole upside down thing. Some people I've known drew upside down. Like,
that seems like it'd be kind of hard.
I guess it depends on how your brain is wired to understand the picture and imagery or whatever. But I couldn't do it. So yeah.
Now I'm going to ask some fun questions. What's your favorite convention that you've been to? And this is going to be a two-parter. One as a vendor, artist, and one as an attendee.
I think my favorite is C2E2.
Now, is that as an artist or an attendee?
honestly, I have never went to a con as an attendee.
Oh my God, we got to get you out into the real world.
Actually, no, I lied. SDCC, I was kind of attendee because I was only a guest for one day, but SDCC is a little different because it's all entertainment. It's all toys, lines, entertainment, so there's nothing really. But even as an artist guest, I do take time to stroll around, at least on the Sunday, to shop. But I've always, when it came to cons, it's always work. So yeah, that I had a problem trying to like spend money to go have fun. So it's like if I'm at a con, I'm working.
Oh, trust me, I know.
C2E2. I get to see most of the people. It's really the people that are fun for me. And all the networking. And seeing all the artists that, I don't get to see at all the other shows. Like, local shows are local shows, but those are the shows that the international artists and, go to.
Where it might be a once a year type of meeting, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I might see them twice because they might go to New York. It's usually C2E2 in New York because SDCC, even as a big name, you have to pay your way to get into the vendor tables. And Artist Alley is really non-existent. You get a 4-foot table, half of a 8-foot table. Yeah.
See, she's gonna keep rubbing New York Comic Con in our face. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
You need to go.
We want to. Okay.
Perfect.
Next question. Favorite cosplay you've seen at one of these conventions?
Oh, Tampa. I don't like it when you have all these cosplayers and they're right in front of your booth and chat. I get it, but the coolest cosplay I've seen is a guy in a wheelchair. He was dressed up as I know it's a merman. I think
Leo.
Poseidon. I think he was dressed up as like a Poseidon, but really intricate. And he made it to where the wheelchair, it propped him up.
Maybe not Leo. I was thinking Leo, one of our other press media people. He likes to dress up occasionally because he's always there for the cosplayers.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the merman ones is one of his, but I don't think his chair ever lifted him up.
I think I was just Googling it. It may be him. I have to see if this is Tampa. Facebook 25-year veteran. Oh, it may be him because it lit up and everything, but I know there's an Iron Merman. But really, it just propped him up and lifted him up in the wheelchair. And, everybody was crowding around. It was like the coolest thing ever that I've ever seen and really creative. It might be him. If you Google Iron Merman.
Yeah, because I believe he's Iron Merman. Because either him or his brother.
Tampa Bay Comic Con. Yeah, okay, it is him.
Okay.
The Iron Merman, Tampa Bay Comic Con. But yeah, he had a trident and everything. His wheelchair lit up. But that always stuck to me because, like, I get it. A lot of people find it difficult, especially if you're disabled, to cosplay. But you can make it work. You can come up with a lot of creative things, especially now.
Oh, one of our friends that we've made over the years, he's in a wheelchair. Him and his wife always go as a duel. One of his best one was Skeletor in the throne. The whole chair made into the throne, and he's going down, and she's Evelyn right next to him.
Oh, that's cool.
And
it's fascinating.
And he also did where he was the Violator and she was Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, yeah. A lot of the people I'm going to say here in Florida, disabled doesn't mean anything for them as cosplay. They really get into it.
Yeah, I really like seeing that, and the whole feeling comfortable doing that too. It's something that they have. I know personally they would have to get over. Well, not get over, but tackle that issue with themselves, and they got over it, and they still want to be creative, and I think that's very positive and inspiring. So it's always a strong image in my
Oh yeah.
head.
Okay. Weirdest food you've ate at a convention?
Sorry?
Weirdest food.
See, I don't find any food weird. I'm a foodie. Weird food. I don't think I've ever had any weird food. Because I know at every con, I tend to try like that city's staple or try something new that I don't have back in town. So I haven't had anything particularly weird, but I'm also a person that likes the Japanese takoyakis that has the little octopus in there, the octopus meat. So maybe I'm just weird.
Trish is doing the gagging sign, but I actually like octopus and squid and all that. So
Have you ever tried takoyaki?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
No.
So there are a lot of Japanese restaurants. They don't serve it, but if they do serve it, they might serve it fresh or they might get the frozen ones. If you like it, it's just a little piece of octopus. It's not a whole octopus or anything. And it's like a little dough ball. But let's see if I can takoyaki. You need to try it. Especially in New York. Especially in New York, because they have an authentic one that's really famous. And you get to see them make it too.
Cool. Scott the Fenster says Kat and Nate, they are good friends of ours. That's the one who's in the wheelchair, did Spawn and Violator, all them. Scott is the one who runs Monster Manor along with Boris.
Okay.
And his wife, she's the evil producer lady. She likes throwing shoes.
Evil producer lady.
Yeah, she likes throwing shoes at Boris. So.
Oh. Let's see. Creative things for all the cosplay. For those interested, this is the guy. This is the guy. Who's interested? Very cool.
Now I got another question. Since you've been to C2E2 for a few years, favorite restaurant in Chicago?
I've only been to C2E2 2 times.
Yeah, that's still enough.
So I don't think I have a favorite restaurant. I did try Illuminati, the deep dish place.
Okay.
I did not try Giordano's yet.
Giordano's was good the first time. The second time we had a really bad experience there.
Okay. See, I'm not sure about the Chicago deep dish yet because I know some place it's either a lot of cheese or a lot of dough.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been impressed yet. And when they serve it piping hot. So it a lot of things are kind of soupy and mushy. I don't like that. I don't have a favorite restaurant in Chicago just yet because when I was there the first time, I did an Airbnb and I would order takeout. So I would order things I normally don't get, like a good ramen place. I always look for a good ramen place to order from. And the other time I was with Unknown Comics and we went to Brazilian Steakhouse.
Her and Kelsey would get along.
I like ramen too.
Ramen. Great authentic ramen.
Oh yeah. Now I'm going to tell you, and next time you're in Chicago, you got to go to Portillo's.
Portillo's. Does that sound familiar?
It's Italian beef, hot dogs, all that. Yeah, you gotta go there.
Chocolate cake shake.
Chocolate cake shake is what they're known
I
for.
can't really have shakes. I'm a little lactose intolerant in a way, but I just looked them up.
But the
and
rest of it's still good.
sandwich looks so good.
And when you have the Italian beef, you got to have it fully dunked in the gravy to get the full experience.
Ooh, I like experiences. I think I've actually seen this place when I was taking tours. I think I know where this is. I've passed it. Someone did suggest this.
Yeah, it's good. We suggest it to everybody.
Okay. I'll definitely do that.
And Michael Floyd says he likes to live on the edge. He goes to Applebee's.
Applebee's, but you can get that like anywhere. See, I have to try something I can't get anywhere.
The promoter of the
Infinity Toy and Comic Con.
The Infinity Toy we changed his life with the chocolate shake. The chocolate cake shake.
It sounds really good, but I know I won't be able to enjoy that unless they have they use non-whole milk. But still, I would have to be really wanting to like hate my life the next day.
I understand.
I might just try it and suffer.
You can still just have the chocolate cake.
Yeah.
You
okay.
Don't have to have, you don't have to have it as the shake.
Or I can start getting lactose intolerant pills.
And Tony says, I think they're opening one here in Orlando. Yeah, they are, Tony. They actually have one in Tampa also, but they're not the same as the original there in Chicago. You know how that is. You got the original store. The rest of the branches just don't live up to the original.
So Chicago, I haven't really. If you ask me about New York, I would know a lot.
Okay, so New York, what's your favorite? See, and I don't know anything in New York, so
right.
So name someplace good in New York for me to go to.
Ramen. There's the one that we found that I went with Art Germ Collectibles. So it was Art Germ. I don't think Derek Chu was there. It's like a hole-in-the-wall ramen shop. They had hand-pulled noodles. I don't remember the name, but I can find it because it's probably on my timeline somewhere. And Japanese barbecue. Okay. But all over New York, there's so much halal carts. I think they're like $7 now. Chicken rice plates and Asian street foods.
Okay.
Mike Stevens, yeah.
Mike Stevens, I came on, first thing I hear is chocolate cake.
Yeah.
And now he wants chocolate cake.
See, do you guys have a Sonic's there?
Sonic? Yeah.
See, I can kind of handle Sonic's, the ice cream Sonic Blast. So, because of my teeth problem, I haven't had any sweets or anything. So maybe last week, I ordered I was like, okay, I'm going to have ice cream because I really don't have ice cream. So I got they have this big cookie dough Oreo Sonic Blast.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah. I don't like I was expecting like little cookie dough chunks, but they use these like little pieces I don't like. So I might just go back to the Oreo. Actually, talking about chocolate cake, I might go get a Sonic Blast because this is right across the street from my apartment complex.
See, Michael says, great, now he wants corn dog and tater tots. Okay, see,
tater tot. I love corn dogs.
Oh, I love corn dogs.
Cake.
But Sonic has the best grilled cheese sandwiches. There's something about how they make it. I don't know what it is, but their grilled cheese is to die for.
Have you tried to replicate it?
Nope. I tried. No, because then I'd ruin it, and then I wouldn't like it, and no.
Oh, I only go to Sonic's for their ice cream. I've only been to Sonic's like 3 times.
It's right across from you, and you only been there 3 times? Oh.
Yeah, I'm not really too big of a sweets person because of my I have to watch my sweets. I gain weight very easily, and let's see. If you give me a chocolate bar, like a Hershey's Kisses chocolate bar, I can only eat like one little part of it because everything is really sweet to me. I
Hey,
know some people just eat the whole chocolate bar.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Trish.
you'd find me in the corner with the empty
Yeah,
wrapper.
I can't do that. Like Reese's peanut butter cups, I can only eat half or a little bit at a time. I know some people like devour it, but it's just really sweet for me. I guess I don't really have that big of a sweet tooth.
See, I can relate to you because I bought a Mr. Good bar because it sounded really good, and it's in the fridge. And I haven't even opened it. It's like
Snickers ice cream bar.
I really wish I had your guys' problem.
she hates it because I will buy stuff because it sounded good when I was at the store, and then I get home and it's like, nah, I just don't want it.
Yeah. I can handle Ben and Jerry's, but I like the cheesecake core, and they haven't had it, so I haven't bought ice cream at all. But if you give me any other ice cream, I would have a really bad time, or I get really bloated. I really hate that feeling. And Mike Stevens, I'll give you the rest of the candy bar. You can share. I'll pay for it. It's fine.
And Scott Fenster says, if you're ever in Sonoma, Georgia, where they filmed The Walking Dead, Nick and Norma's is a fantastic, and McGuire's Tavern is also fantastic.
Wait. McGuire's, as in the Irish place. McGuire's.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. McGuire's Tavern, yeah.
Because we have a Irish place in Pensacola called McGuire's, and it's kind of like you see dollars, like you can staple your own dollar all over the place. I don't know if it's the same place, but they have the best steak.
And he says yes.
Oh yeah, I love McGuire's. I would just have to make a big trip, and their hurricane drinks. McGuire's Irish Pub. I have a dollar with my signature and stuff up there. It's like I have to do it.
Scott Fenster says fish and chips are to die for. And Tony says in Puerto Rico, we have a place that they make ice cream of any flavor, like rice and beans or avocado, fruits, etc.
Gross.
It's
Why would you eat rice and beans ice cream?
Is it where they use like I know there's some places they have these stands where they use the antifreeze griddle, where they have the cream, and then you can put any toppings in it, and they mash it together, and it make like rolled shaved ice cream. And I've seen people put like weird toppings on it, so I'm not surprised with the whole red beans and rice kind of thing. Asian people have this red bean popsicle thing, and to me it's the weirdest thing ever, but it tastes funny.
I would think it would. It's like a
avocado
popcorn jelly bean.
Sure.
It's all wrong.
A popcorn jelly bean is all wrong. Yeah,
all wrong.
Well,
have you guys? Do you guys watch any like food shows like Chopped?
That is one of our guilty pleasures.
They have this. They have these weird ingredients, and one of them was like a specific popcorn, bacon flavored popcorn.
I could see that on Chopped.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they come up with some weird stuff in those baskets.
Oh yeah. Cold Stone Creamery, yes.
Cold Stone Creamery. Now, if you're ever out here, I don't know if they have them where you're at. Twisty Treat.
Is that local or
a franchise?
Know
it's a franchise all over, at least all over here.
Okay.
I don't know how far they go out of state, but if you ever Twisty Treat's good. And
is it like frozen yogurts as well?
They can do frozen yogurts.
Okay.
Yeah. Tony says back to the Puerto Rican, they sell them like Baskin type, so like Baskin Robin.
Oh yeah, okay. So like tubs. Avocado, but then again, you have pistachio flavors. I'm more of a chocolate and cheesecake, Oreo cookies and creams type.
Cheesecake ice cream is really good.
Yeah,
I'm a Ben and Jerry's guy. Salted caramel core.
I have to have cheesecake core or brownie batter core. I can't do caramel.
That's the only ice cream I pretty much eat anymore. Is if it's on sale, Ben and Jerry's.
I like, or what is it? Bluebells.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
They
I
had
can't
this
handle
really
too much
good.
of that.
Michael says they have Twisty Treat here. Where are you at, Michael?
You're in Florida.
Oh, he's in Florida.
I think he's also in somewhere in Florida, right? Because I know Mike Stevens goes to all the Florida shows. He's a big Art Germ fan.
Yeah, I think it's only Florida.
Is Twisty only in Florida? Okay.
Okay, because we have Cold Snap, frozen yogurt. We have Marble Slab. I love Marble Slab. I can handle some of their ice cream.
Marble Slab's pretty much like Cold Stone. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Cold Stone I had in New York and Baskin Robin. Let's see.
It's been forever since I've been to a Baskin Robin.
I know.
See, back in when I lived in New York City, the Baskin Robin was like a block away, and my friend worked there, so we always get like extra. Let's see, con foods.
So Michael says, "Yeah, I'm just north of West Palm and Fort Pierce." So you gonna try to hit PalmCon later this year, Michael? That's another convention that one of our friends, you probably know him, Martin. She's not gonna hear me. PalmCon is another convention you might know. Martin Piera.
PalmCon?
Yeah. Well, Martin Piero is with Cosmic Times. He's the owner of Cosmic Times, creator of all kinds of comic books. He does PalmCon down south.
I guess I have never heard of that. Where is Palm?
It's in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. Let's see, West Palm Beach. I don't think I've actually been on the western side of Florida. The only places I've been to would be Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando. I don't go any further because then I'm going way past 8 hours.
Yeah, and that's from Orlando. West Palm is about 3 hours or so, depending how fast you drive.
Even like Tampa, I know with breaks, it generally takes me 8 hours of driving. So that's why I haven't been to Fort Lauderdale or Miami.
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct her, Michael. West Palm is on the East Coast. Did you say the West Coast?
Oh, yeah. My bad. East, yeah. Sorry.
And we call it this down south from us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael, check out PalmCon. He's bringing it back this year, so that's going to be fun.
I did go to Daytona, but that's north.
And see, that's east to us.
Yeah, that is east. It's east. It's still north.
Actually, it's Central Florida.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes I would stop by Jacksonville and just drive down.
Yeah. Now Jacksonville is north. Yes.
But I was saying Daytona Beach was north of West Palm Beach.
Yeah, that
it is.
Yeah, that's what I meant by north.
Don't let him mess with you.
But anything from my city to Florida would be east. Yeah.
And I just say you're up north. You're northwest.
I am northwest.
Okay, so we're hitting the 10 o'clock hour. So is there anything you want to give a shout out to anybody? Anything like that? And while you're thinking real quick, Michael, check us out every Thursday because we got cool people. And we also check out our page because we put a list of everything that's going on in Florida out on our page every month. So if you ever want to know something to do. Yeah, we try to keep it. Well, I'll tell you, we started Orlando Collector Deviants because we were friends with a lot of artists, and then we started we'd go to a show and we wouldn't see them at a show. At the next show that we ran into them, we're like, oh, I thought you'd be at this show, and they're like, well, we were at this other show, and we thought you'd be there, because before the whole COVID thing, Florida had 3 to 5 events going on every weekend. So, and not everybody knew that. So that's why we started Orlando Collector Deviants, so we could showcase all the different events, let everybody know everything that was going on.
Yep.
And that's how it started, with pictures, and now we do this and videos, and now we have our own convention. So
it's great. That's like living the dream.
It is. It's the whole, God, wouldn't it have been nice thing that actually happened, And we created the whole funny thing is we created Orlando Collector Deviants with our kids on our nightly walk. We'd go walking at night and everything, and we created that all one night just walking.
I think it's funny how it's abbreviated O.C.D. I thought that was the funniest thing.
When we came up with the name, I wanted it to where everybody would remember us. So that's why Orlando Collector Deviant, it sounds weird, but when you put O.C.D. next to it, everybody remembers us as the O.C.D. crew.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason of what our name was, just so we could have that acronym.
And it works.
It does.
I'm like, I was asking myself, like, I wonder if they planned that around the abbreviation O.C.D. or which came first, or was it an accident?
No, it was on purpose, just something that would catch everybody's attention, and it worked. So
yeah,
because we're either known as the Deviants or O.C.D. So.
Well, I was going to say, I'd like to thank everybody who supports artists. Now I'm trying to get my cat here, but she's walking.
Of course.
Now. But yeah, honestly, everybody that supports creators, artists, shows like this one, all the indie, without supporters, it doesn't really happen,
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
And there's Pepper,
who are patient, like Michael Stevens is ever patient on his Lady Death commission. And then there's Pepper, who will bless you with a lot of luck. But I know she wants gone until she doesn't want gone. She's just turning 1. You're a big cat.
So fluffy.
But really, I remember how it was and how much you fight for it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to do those after you said. Michael, so many shows in Florida and a ton of comic artists and creators live here too. Yep. They all come to retire here, but they never retire.
Nope.
And then Florida, Tony, like I told you, he's my best friend. He's been with us from the beginning. He's like, I remember how it was and how much you fought for it. We put in a lot of legwork. Scott, yes, indie art, film, music is where it's all at, for who you're thanking for suggesting. And Michael just grabbed Anna's cover for Steak and missed out on the 10 cover one, though.
The one with the nice booty, the big red moon. But really, without supporters, we wouldn't be where we're at. Even the big names, they got to where they were because of supporters. So
right.
I really do appreciate everyone that, comes on shows, even to say hi, takes time out of their day, or even collects. Doesn't even have to buy anything. It's just word of mouth, or visiting the booth, things like that.
Well, like us, we're very particular as to who we try to recruit to our page. We're not one of those that you're ever going to find us buying bots or buying likes or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Everybody that's on there is a true person.
Yes. And I like that. That's why, even for my little fan group and stuff, I invite people who I know that will appreciate the art, the posts, and things like that. I'm not inviting people just to increase my count. Be like, oh, hey, I have like 10,000 followers or something.
Right.
Things like that, So.
And she has, like, for the sketchbook page, the fan page of hers, she has questions to get in. She had to let me in because I put on there. Also, she's going to be on my show Thursday night.
You know what's surprising? I get bots, or like people like. First of all, we don't have any groups in common, and you're this and that. You're probably going to be spamming something and suspicious in this group or trying to sell something. So I'm like, no, decline. Sorry.
Right.
Like I actually like scan through everything, and then people inviting others who are more or less comic collectors or want to learn more about art and things like that. So, yeah.
Okay, and speaking of that, one last question before I do my nightly shout out to everybody. Advice on anybody wanting to get into drawing, try to get into the business. What kind of advice would you give?
You have to have a strong mind. Do your research, have a strong mind. You can do it. Have a business card ready, have a website, and reach out. Talk to people. Even if you're afraid, you have to connect. You have to learn that. And it's okay to not like your own artwork. Just know that other people see it differently. It's okay. And share. You have to get over that. What was the question again?
No, that was perfect because I'm gonna be honest. I stuff on my wall original back here. I have artists that when they see the show, they're like, "Why do you have that? I hate that so much." To me, I love it. I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah, I know that, and that's the thing. There will always be people who will love a specific work of yours, your style, even if you don't like it. You don't like it because you see these little flaws. You have to get over it. Just in your mind, okay, I'll do better next time. I mean, even some of the artworks I see, oh, her neck is too long or her eye is crooked. It's okay. These are things that you see yourself because you're the one who created, but other people might overlook that and just appreciate the whole piece. You never know. And also there will always be people who post rude comments, things like that. Just ignore it. You have to learn to ignore it. Some people are just haters, some people are just trolls and things like that. Even the most famous artists, they get trolled all the time. Like even Artgerm, like there's so many people just hating his artwork because it's too this or that. I'm like, and he just shrugs it off. So you have to learn that too. Get over it.
I will make this little suggestion. When we started getting trolls and that kind of stuff, me and Trish looked at each other and said, "We must have made it."
Yeah, exactly. You made it.
They're not going to troll somebody who's not
important.
Yeah. So we look at the trolls as a good thing. I'll take the trolls. That means we're doing something right.
Sometimes I have fun and troll them back. That's my entertainment.
Kind of do that too sometimes.
But sometimes I have to keep it. Yeah. And that's why with me, I'm pretty open about things. Like if I post this because I know the consequences and stuff like that. But sometimes I troll, and people know that's just part of my sense of humor. And Scott, don't pick so much.
Oh, Scott is he says that Scott is one of the most renowned sculpturists that you'll ever meet. He's worked in the motion pictures. He's worked on TV and stuff. I know he struggles with it because he wants to be every little detail perfect. And to all of us on the outside, his work is extraordinary.
Right.
But as an artist, I know you guys all can see the flaws where we can't see those flaws.
Right. And the thing is with the flaws, you have to think of the good things of your piece. It's not being full of yourself or being cocky or anything. It's you have to think positive. You have to move forward. I don't know how else to say it, but you can also love your work at the same time. Or as long as you know the next piece, just do better. Your
Yeah.
own mind.
And Tony says with the trolls, it's a free ad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good troll, bad troll, whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah.
One more thing. I know I keep saying one more thing. So
One more thing.
Are we ever going to see a Kickstarter from you with your own
I
book?
actually made one,
did you?
but it's for an art book. It was last year. I was
see, I missed
supposed
that.
to make. It was a sketchbook, more or less, it's black and white inside. But this year, I was supposed to make a full color, big, fancy one of works like accumulate 10 years. I've accumulated in 10 years, but right now I'm still kind of busy and working a lot of things out with my life, so it's kind of pushed back. As far as my own comic, I'm not a writer. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to do interior work. I'll practice it, but that's just not my thing. So I'll probably just always be a cover artist.
The cover queen.
Yeah, the cover queen, I guess. But yeah, I love Kickstarter, so it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, guys, where are you going to be? Where can people see you next? I already know we talked about it earlier on, but if people want to meet you in person, where can they meet you next?
If you're in the area, I'll be with at Unknown Comics physical retail store in Amarillo, Texas next week, and I might. Oh, and I'm also scheduled to do Fanboys Marketplace in Dallas, Texas, June 5th. It's for their store's grand reopening. So I'll be there in person. As far as con goes, I'm still not sure. Whichever conventions Unknown Comics end up going to, I might go. So maybe New York or C2E2.
Okay.
That it's really a question up in the air right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you can see me and Trish again next Thursday at the show right here. And we're going to have the awesome promoter, Tom Rupp. Not only a promoter, he's a comic book dealer. He has some of the coolest comic book collection that you ever find. So he will be here live in the house next Thursday. 8 o'clock. Look, Trisha giving me a weird look. So
No, my sound started messing up.
Okay. That's just your old age.
Shut up.
He's sleeping on the sofa again.
His first name is Shut Up.
well, no, my first name is Asshole, and like yours is Bitch, but
Oh yeah, so your middle name is Asshole. Shut up.
yeah, see. We've been married for this will be 24 years, so we get
This is normal.
Yeah, this is normal. Everybody always looks when I call her bitch and
It's
she
your
calls
own
me
love
asshole.
language.
Exactly.
Oh, there's Tom. There's Tom.
Yep. Tom always is out in the show. He's just lurking in the back. Good show. Have a good night. See you next Thursday. And Tom, I have the Coronas, and all I gotta do is get you the limes.
The good Coronas.
The good Coronas.
The good Coronas.
And other than that, if you stick around after the outro, Anna, and we'll talk for a minute before we go.
Okay. Thanks for having me. This was really fun. See, I enjoy just sitting and chatting.
And that's what the whole show was about. It was about just
hanging out.
Just hanging out. Because you know how when you get to you meet up with your friends and stuff, and we gotta sit and have drinks sometime,
Yeah.
And you never do because you're always busy on that side. I'm busy on this side. Mm-hmm. So this was a way that we can still enjoy conversation with everybody, have a few drinks, whether it be soda, alcohol, whatnot, and just have a great time. And people can see, like I said, the real you. Everybody sees the artist part of you on your pages.
Yeah, I'm always
that.
like looking and just drawing and looking at my table.
And so this is, you know, you like bananas because I've seen you have a couple different banana shirts.
It's just part of my name, and I just kind of embraced it. It's like I might as well make a logo out of it too.
Well,
There you
see,
go.
So yeah,
it's something that a lot of people don't know, but now they do.
another thing, the whole banana thing. I actually hide bananas in my covers. I started in 2019, so there's some
Ooh.
hidden bananas.
Now I
Ooh.
So
gotta
that's
find
how it
that book.
started too.
But you
That
cannot go
one,
in circle
I
'em.
think I did hide a banana in the Vampronica. I think. I have to
Now I
look
gotta
for it
find the book.
myself. I have to look at it myself. I know the recent one, steak number 2, I hid 2 bananas in there.
Oh, see, cool. Now I'm gonna go because I've seen the cover of it, so I'm gonna go look at the cover and see if I can.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is I can zoom in with the computer. So
Yeah.
okay, so like I said, hold on after the outro, and we'll talk for a couple minutes if you don't mind.
Yep.
All right.
Bye,
So,
everybody.
see you guys next week.